Hello, I'm Toycat, and if you just want to skip to my first ever car crash, you can do so by going to the timestamp that's on screen now. However, I thought it was beautifully ironic that this was the first drive and, talk video that I'd done in a very long time, and I was talking about how safe country roads are, so there's a beautiful irony in what I'm talking about, mashed with what eventually happens. If you want to see that and see some of the weirdest roads we have in the UK, then please do continue watching with the second intro of the video.
Hello, this is a video that I don't know what I'm doing with. I just wanted to share the country road experience. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm talking about when I say I wanted to share something. Like, okay, they're going off the side because they're real nice, and so now I go by. This is a road with a speed limit of 60 miles per hour. Thank you. I don't know if they're actually... Oh, Christ. This is a road with a speed limit of 60 miles per hour, and traffic goes in both directions. Yeah, it's 60. It would be 70 if it was 4 lanes or more. But because it is just 2 lanes. See, even getting past a bike, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna slow down, just to be sure here. This is an incredibly common type of road in the UK. It's called a country road. As you can see, we've still got those fun signs on the side. And it's one of those things that I just think, I think this is what terrifies people about driving in European countries, is so many of our roads are repurposed horse lanes, or like just the road that naturally formed, or the path that naturally formed, which we now need to get cars down. And it's so interesting because this is what 30 looks like on this road, by the way. It looks incredibly dangerous, right? Like, it looks like you're doing something that is a hazard. And I think it's and so I could be going 30 more miles per hour and it wouldn't be unlawful, which is very, very interesting. That's why I led with the speed limit on this road. And it's an interesting case in point of, these are the roads where effectively laws stop applying, is how I would really put it. Because although there is a speed limit of 60, you're never ever going to be seen by a police, like if you were doing 80, you would never be seen by a police officer. But in reality, most people aren't doing more than 60, because most people aren't doing 60. Most people drive around this at about 20 or 30. They drive to the conditions that exist. And so the speed limit is set like artificially high. It's in fact, it's effectively, there is no speed limit, it just uses the national one. And I find that to be a fascinating concept, that there are some places that we decide can actually work just fine without laws. It's very rare, and oh man, this is a very muddy area. I don't care about the car, I guess. I mean, it's already muddy, it's already been raining. Why not get it a little bit worse, right? But yeah, I wanted to show you this sort of road because a lot of people from countries where the roads are wide, Americans are really terrified of stuff like this. It's also the same with driving down. See, this is actually gonna be an easy pass. It's a wide enough road that if I come in here, there was no issue. Do I wait maybe? I think I might have to. Yeah, I think if I politely wait here, that might be for the best. In general, the way it works, it seems terrifying, but the way it works is, if one of you is stationary or very slow, it's really easy for the other one to move by. Even in a road that's this small, it can't, like, cars are so much wider than, or so much thinner than the lanes we give them on normal roads. This looks like it's barely wide enough to fit one car, but in actuality, oh, is he going up there for me? Okay, that's very nice of you. Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna hit this bush quite hard. See, in actuality, if he's going like that, I hope that is not bad for the car. Okay, so now look at this street here. Genuinely, I don't know if these lanes are wide enough for a car, but we'll go for it anyway. In reality, if one of you's going really slow, it's quite easy for the other one to get past. The width of the car is so much smaller than the width of the lane, and the reason we use, look at this is so ridiculous. This is like a series of country lanes connected to each other. With, by the way, because there's no parking regulations, you can just park on the side of one of these. I don't know if that's parked or if that's abandoned actually, but you can do it, is the point. And I think it's a really interesting kind of proof that what we're used to, when people first get on a train for the first time, they're like, oh god, where is this going? How do I do this? And it's like, it's a straight line. You get off when you hear your stop. The train can only take you where you're going or past it. It can't take you to, Canada by accident. And people are also terrified going on the motorway for the first time, or the interstate highway. People get scared of going on those things for the first time. In the UK, as a learner driver, you can't go on there. So every newly passed driver has their first motorway experience where they don't have someone in the car with them to help them. Okay, so there's cars and there's bikes. So I slow down. We let the bike come through, and the car comes through, and then they thank us. Maybe I was meant to thank them, actually. I'm not sure about the etiquette there. But it's a really terrifying feeling, situation. But it's a reminder that we're just used to certain norms. And the norms for this are terrifying. When I first did it, there was a lorry that came by super close, and I felt really bad, but I thought like the instructor would be like, okay, everything's fine. And he was like, oh my God. You have one of those every 10 years, Andrew. It's good you got yours out of the way. Like a lorry came by so quickly, so closely that it freaked out my instructor. And it's like, man, you drive for a living, dude. This is not a good sign for my existence. Anyway, I'm in here to, there's a national forest. I didn't know we had national forests. I knew we had national parks, and I knew we had forests, which no doubt are quite big nationally. But, yeah, so apparently people cycle here quite often. This is how you know we're in a relatively rich area, right? Like the people, it's a random Thursday in December, and people are going for little cycle times. That's the funny thing about cycling versus cars, right? Is that on the low income level, it's like cars versus cycling. Then on the really high levels, it's like, well, I need to get somewhere, but I also need to exercise because I like the fine things in life, or maybe they care about looking good, or whatever the thing may be. Anyway. My point here is to talk about the lawless anarchy that works just fine with roads. That there is a set of norms for these roads that are terrifying that you can pick up just fine without laws to govern it. There is no law that says slow down when passing someone. I just kind of know logically that I should do that. This is actually, see, this road now is actually 2 cars wide plus a little bit. Like me, I can slide past him, not hit the bush or the side of the road, and we can both go quite fast while doing so. This should be the norm for a 2-lane road, in theory. If we were all perfect drivers, this could be 2 lanes and the occasional bit of parking, if you like dig a tiny bit out. Or 2 lanes and a motorcycle filter, or 2 lanes and a cycle lane in each direction. You could really theoretically do here. But the reason we don't is because there is a certain amount of human error that we plan into, and then because we've started planning into it so much, we even put it in our laws, and because then we put it in our laws and our this is a very interesting crossroads actually. You can't look left and right, but just be assured that I'm doing so. I'm crossing oncoming traffic, and I'm gonna be fine. In fact, let's get a little bit of speed on just this video. See, now this road is basically the same width. It's the same 60 speed limit, by the way. So this is me doing the full 60, just for comparison for the rest of the video. But the center line is what makes it feel safe, right? And so when you add that speed limit to a center line and you make people feel safe, and then you give them a limit, that's the scary thing. Feeling safe and feeling like there are like, oh, there's laws, there's magical things. You might assume that laws are a thing that can restrict you, but I know a lot of people on the leftist side of the world will say like, well, the way laws work is they bind certain groups and they keep other groups safe. There's that, but in reality, I think every group is bound by some laws and is kept safe by others. But the thing is when it comes to driving, is safety can't be created out of thin air by laws. You can presumably help with some amount of that, but most safety has to be created by creating conditions under which people will drive with the full enough attention. There's some controversy about whether you really have. Okay, so I have to turn right here, I believe. Am I really going right? Yeah, yes, I am. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Look, we got more. See, this road says it's a 10-mile-per-hour limit. This is the exact same concept as the country road I was just doing, but I guess now we've hit national forest. And so what am I doing about this? Oh man. Okay, is he gonna wait for me, or am I gonna? Okay, there's a passing space on the left. I'm gonna go into that because it's on my side of the road. You see this? Oh Christ! I hit my wind mirror. I hope that's fine. Okay. Yeah. Oh man. That was bad. It's like beaten up. Now my wind mirror is now facing me. Let's see if I can fix that. Oh yeah, no, it's stuck in there. I'm gonna, that's probably bad. Why do cars even have these mirrors sticking out of them? So yeah, even that, I was like, I think I know the rules, but I didn't. I hit a post or something with the left side of my car, and that's not good. Anyway, yeah, I think that you can create safety through laws as much as through norms, as much as through just creating conditions under which people would like to be safe. Do I just go on the side? I guess I go on the side here, yeah. See, now there is a road. Oh, Christ, the car is so sideways. This can't be good for it. I guess now we just... Oh, no! Oh, no, no! Oh, Christ! Oh, no! Oh, my Jesus Christ, that's not good. Okay, I need to go deal with that. Okay, one sec. This is very bad. I'm gonna turn this off real quick.
One eternity later.
So, just a little bit of a small update here. It turns out quite a major piece of my car's body paneling came off. And also, on the front here, there is, I want to say, what is that, like a broken... I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world, right? But it's also a concern. This is my first crash, actually. Is that a crash? Or is this a low-speed piece of bodywork incident? It shows how quickly a car, like, is messed up. A piece of wood did this much damage, you know? Yeah, I was going to a wood, and I was making a whole point about how you won't crash. But then the funny thing is, when we get to the regulations, the 10-mile-per-hour area with the lack of or like the seeming safety is what got me in the end. The car was too far this way, and so I couldn't get it to the right in time to get past the sign. And this is funny now. It's a story. Maybe I'll update you after I've called the people, because this is a brand new car. Like, this is literally, it had 1,200 miles on when I got it. It's 72 plated if you're a British and you know what that means. So I'll see how that cool goes.
Okay, so I'm back now, and I want to talk about the experience because it was really intense at first. Like, I got so many calls from the insurance and then from the body shop. Apparently I later learned this affects my personal insurance, even though it was a rental car. There was a lot of, like, a whirlwind of experiences, and it all seemed like it was happening so fast. Like, everyone was sure that, like, okay, we're going to take this car away because it's damaged, and we're going to send you a complimentary car, then we're going to give you a replacement. And what ended up happening over the last month that I've had the car is nothing. And then they took a £1,000 like excess. In theory, some of that might be returned if the damage costs less than £1,000. I have no clue if that is going to be the case. I just currently have the car. It was due to be returned a couple of weeks ago. Then they were going to pick it up 1 week ago, so they were like a week late to pick it up. And then they showed up like really early, like at like 8:55 or something with no warning. And so like, what could I do about that? And so I have the car still. I called them to ask when are you picking it up, and they're just not bothered about the whole thing. It's it's been a very confusing process, but yeah, the cost of this incident was £1,000, and apparently it has a little mark on my insurance from now on. I don't have a personal car though, so it doesn't matter. It's another incentive not to get a personal car, I guess, because if I did, then this would be a thing that I would have to forever tell them about. And anyway, so speaking of things that I should tell you about, I should tell you that everything's fine, I was fine, and I hope that you're fine, because third channel, don't care. Goodbye.